All right, everybody. This is Natalie. I was scrolling TikTok and her videos came up, and she is out there doing a great job promoting Flat Earth the way she sees it. She seemed very passionate, and I reached out to her for two reasons. One, I wanted to talk to this woman and hear her Flat Earth journey. And the other one was I wanted to make sure she wasn't AI because we live in a scary, scary world. You and I spoke and we talked about Hey Podge.
Yep.
Hey Podgy, whatever. Theory, hope I'm wrong, is that she's not a real person. She's speaking at a conference in Texas, truthercon.com this weekend. So when this comes, I'll probably put this out today. And nobody's been able to talk to her. So if she shows up, she's real. And if she doesn't show up, it doesn't prove she's not real, but it's just another thing. What do you think?
I think she is real. And
She
the
is real.
reason
Okay.
I think that she is real is because you can see the reflection of her phone in her glasses.
Well, that's not a good reason. Hold on one second. You can see the reflection of the phone in her glasses, but you see what they do with AI. They can do all of that stuff can be done. All of that stuff can be done. So I hope I'm just a crazy conspiracy theorist saying that she's not real. I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong, but time may tell. Well, we will see. So Natalie, your channel is Nata, Nata problem. Is there a dot or a dash in there?
I think there's a dot, yeah.
Yeah, Nata dot problem, which is a cool name. And tell us when did you learn about Flat Earth? How did you learn about it? And what made you start doing videos?
So up until about a year ago, I never even had any social media whatsoever. And I used to scroll TikTok, but I was just a user of TikTok. I was not I never ever posted videos before. And I learned about Flat Earth maybe 2020. Prior to that, I was a conspiracy theorist. I believed all other conspiracies, but I thought people who believed in the flat earth were absolutely bonkers. And I thought that they gave the true conspiracy theorists a bad name. That was what I believed.
I like not using the word conspiracy theorists because we're not conspiracy theorists. We're conspiracy analysts. Conspiracy analysts. So we're going to change that. Everyone use conspiracy analysts because that's what we do. Conspiracy theories are for the normies that just hear something, don't investigate it, so it's truly just a theory. So go ahead, continue.
Even the first few times when I thought, maybe there's something in this. And then I looked into it online and I always got Brian Cox, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and they threw me off because I was like, oh, well, this guy knows. He must know what he's talking about. And they threw me off it completely for months again. And then I got really into Graham Hancock and Ancient Apocalypse and all of the ancient history. And after diving really deep into that, I realised it had to be. Again, Graham Hancock kind of threw me off as well because he was not coming right out and saying it. But then you've got to get your head around why these people do not come right out and say these things if they want to keep their platform. So, yeah, I mean, looking into ancient history, that just left me with no doubt whatsoever. And then I had to get my head around all the way it worked and the way the sun worked and the moon worked and why we believe one thing and it wasn't another. So I had to get my head around all of these bits. So I researched it for years. And after I had it all clear in my mind, and then each time when I was scrolling TikTok and these things came up about planets and we think there's such and such approaching Earth, and I just thought this is so much nonsense. Like it's like they are just, and Elon Musk and things as well, trying to send things to Mars, and it really infuriated me because I was like, they're just all taking the piss out of us.
So you came into this knowledge in 2020 during the lockdowns. What country are you in?
Scotland.
You're in Scotland.
Yeah.
So everyone had a lot of time to start looking into things, which woke up a lot of people. I don't know if that was by plan or by detriment. Um, so you can't. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask. You talk about the old world. So you saw the deception of the old world before flat Earth, or that helped you get into flat Earth.
Yeah, before right before it, they came sort of hand in hand. Like everything that I was looking into, I became a wee bit obsessed with these little bags and the pine cones and things like that. So when they were holding like the tuning devices, and so I got right into like the frequency and vibration side of it before I actually got into the flat earth side of it. And then when you realize that everything is connected, every single bit of it is connected. When you go to some of these old buildings and you look at the ceilings and things, and they're trying to tell us that they done that with a hammer and chisel, and I'm like, they're taking like no
Right.
chance, no way ever did you do that with a hammer and chisel.
I think you said that the Warrenon Lost History of Flat Earth is what woke you up. Was that you that said that? The five
Sorry,
hour
what was
video,
that?
the Warrenon, the Lost History of Flat Earth. This one right here, the Lost
Yeah,
History of
yeah.
Flat Earth.
Yep.
That's what that one woke up a lot of people. That's a great one. I have that right there on the app. But another one I want to point you to on my app, if you go to our history, a different view, which is right in the second row right now, that's
Yep.
that's the same quality. Amazing. I actually met the guy in Spain this year at Conspiracy Music Gurus Gathering, and it's actually really really good. And if someone's new to the old world, this one is a little easier to digest than a 5 hour video. It's hard to get somebody to watch, a 5 hour
Yeah.
video. But if you do, the same thing happens to you. It knocks you on your feet, it knocks you on your ass, and you become a flat
Yeah.
earther. Right.
That's it. And I mean, once what people say, oh, she believes the earth is flat. No, I don't. I know for a fact the earth is flat. It's not a belief.
Yeah.
I know under like there is no doubt whatsoever in my mind. I'm more sure of that about than that I'll wake up tomorrow morning. Like I am 100 million% positive that the earth is
And
flat.
and here's the thing. So the Globers, the anti-flat earthers, they'll try to trap you. Well, how does the sun work? How far is the sun? What is the sun? They'll ask you all these questions, and the truthful answer is, I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows, right?
Yeah.
Globers think they know everything, but one thing, and there's flat earthers that say, oh, there's a firmament that connects in Antarctica. Oh, there's a firmament that goes on extended plane. Oh, there is no firmament. It's water. It's ice. Cool. But one thing we don't know, we can't make any positive claims. Is Antarctica an ice wall all the way around, or
Yeah.
does it go all the way around? We don't know. But what we all know is the impossibility of the lumpy wet space rock in a
100%.
vacuum. Yeah, in a
Yeah.
natural law violating vacuum. So when people say, do you believe? No, we know it's not a ball, and we
100%.
and we know that it's either flat or millions of times bigger than they tell us, which is equally as big of a problem.
Hmm. And the thing is, like, we're looking at stars in the night sky and zooming in on them, and they're getting so much bigger. And people honestly believe that they're zooming in on stars that are trillions of miles away and making this much of a difference in the size of it. And to me, I'm like, how can you guys not understand that? Like, what is so difficult to understand that your eyes cannot see that far for one, and your phone does not have the capability to make something that's trillions of miles away much bigger like that?
Yeah, so check this out. So if you look up in the night sky and you look at the stars Sirius and Orion, Sirius is a pretty big bright star, and Orion is a little bit smaller. So with a
Mm.
P1000, we can zoom in and have this almost fill up the whole lens, right? We
Aye.
can zoom in, and then we can also zoom in on Orion, and it's almost the same size. We can almost zoom it to the same size. But here's the weird thing. Sirius is allegedly 8.6 light years, which is 50 trillion
It's
miles.
madness,
Right.
Dave.
But check this out. Orion is not twice as far as Sirius, or 100 times, or 1,000 times, or even 1,000,000 times farther. It's 52 million times farther than Sirius, which is a number you can't even comprehend. And then we can zoom it in and see it. So this alone, I say this almost everything I bring up. This alone proves the heliocentric lie. Everything that we talk about proves the heliocentric lie.
One of the biggest things is people have to realize that common sense needs to prevail sometimes. If Polaris has never moved,
yeah,
therefore we have never moved. Like, to me, that's just common sense now. It's like,
Well,
if
they
that's stationary, we've got to be stationary or we're moving in perfect unison with it. And that's not the case.
Globers will come up and say, well, how do you know the Earth is spinning? Well, I see the sun and the moon go across the sky. Oh, so you see the sun and the moon across the sky, but they're not moving. We're spinning, right? But you can't feel it, right? Everything is reversed. They tell us that Orion is 52 million times. Wait, is it 52 million times bigger? It's 52 million times bigger. It would have to be 52 million times bigger. In reality, Orion's a little smaller than Sirius. They're both probably at the exact same distance.
It's crazy that people think that we can see that far with the naked eye.
Right. It's maybe what were you just talking about something else? You said something after that. I wanted to show something. What was the other thing you just said, or do you remember? If not, it'll come back to us. This is just a zoom in on a star. Right. What is that? It looks sentient to me. It looks angelic.
Imagine aliens.
Well, I don't even say aliens. I think consciousness. I think that, my personal theory, just Dave Weiss speaking here, is that our eternal souls are up, live in the stars, in the heavens above, and then we take time here to manifest in this physical reality that we call Earth, and we have our experiences here, and we do it with amnesia. You know the whole story. We do it so we can really experience it, and we have a mission, and when you find that mission, you're in resonance with why you're here, and everything works out amazingly.
Oh, 100%. Like I seen a video yesterday and it was a girl who was talking about quantum quantum physics in some way. And how she was putting it across, they've just basically hijacked spirituality and put it in a science term. Like what you're saying is what's traditionally known as spirituality, and you've just put it into a scientific term here. You're saying like the universe manifests what your thoughts are and things like that. Yes, I fully believe that, but it's not science, it's not physics like you're putting it across, like quantum thoughts and things, like how you're portraying it to be. That's not what it is. It's spirituality, and which has been around for thousands of years, and we can see it across ancient history all over the world. Yet yous are now hijacking it and saying that it's atoms and things, which is just nonsense.
Yeah, you were talking about how Polaris never moves.
Yeah.
And so the Glober explanation for why it never moves?
Yeah, I do.
We're so far away that the movement that we make is insignificant. It's like though, like if you're looking at a mountain in the distance, if you moved one hair width, the mountain wouldn't move, right? Mm-hmm. And they're calling that billions of miles, right? So we're traveling 4.5 billion miles a year, every year, forever, and Polaris never moves.
No.
But they're saying it's because it's so far away. But you're familiar with the Georgia Guidestones in America?
And the hole that was in them, and you could see Polaris for 40 odd years.
Yeah.
Before they ripped them down.
It was over 40 years, so it should have been a full moon width out of that hole. And it wasn't. And then we made a video, it went kind of viral, and right after it went kind of viral, a terrorist blew up the Georgia Guidestones. The whole thing was bulldozed over. The time capsule was stolen, and no investigation ever happened.
Nope.
It's crazy.
Such a coincidence. It's the same as how the pyramids even are aligned to Orion's belt. Impossible for that alignment to still be there if we're flying through infinite space.
There's a shaft in the Great Pyramid that points towards Polaris, and the Glober argument is it used to point towards Thuban, but we've wobbled and now it points towards Polaris, and in 2,000 years it'll point somewhere else, right? Cool story. We got to wait 2,000 years now to see if that happens. It's like 2 more years and we're going back to the moon. America's going back to the moon in 2 years.
Oh, yeah. Of course they are.
Well, which moon? The question. Now we have 2 moons. Did you hear that? We have we have 2 moons until the year 2038. Yeah, there's 2 moons now. Again, we have 2 moons, but The nonsense that NASA puts out there is amazing. Is the propaganda in Finland strong? Like when you turn on TV, are globes
Oh,
everywhere?
100%. Yeah, everywhere. And the thing is, once you realise, you just look at these things and you think, do they really think we're buttoned up the back? Like, do they think we are stupid? Because we're not. Like, but some people still are. So I put a video out the other day, and it was about I had heard a flight going over my head. So the flight, when I checked on flight radar, the flight was from um, Tokyo to Paris, right? So my instant thought was, why on earth would that be going over my head in Scotland? This flight, Air France from Tokyo to Paris. So on flight radar, I then checked the route, right? So this flight came, now it should be direct, right across China, Kazakhstan, maybe right into Paris that way. That's not the way the flight was going. It went right up, right over Greenland, down across the UK and into Paris that way. Now, I then put that same route onto a flat Earth map, and it makes perfect sense. So what I was
What
trying to
was the
say in my
route?
video,
What was the route? What did it go over?
so the route went from Charles de Gaulle. I've got screenshots. Can I share them with you?
Yeah, hold on. Let me make that. Oh, you're on your phone. I don't know how you do that, but I'll. Whoops. You can try and share, but right now, if you look, Japan. It was Japan, right? You said Japan
Yeah, Tokyo to Paris.
to Paris. So Paris is where the hell's Paris? Paris is over here somewhere, right? So
See,
this
your map's turned round. So your map's facing the American way, where mine would be at Britain at the bottom. So it's kind of confusing me here. But so this is Britain here. Aye.
so what
So
what what did
that's
it
how
go
it
over?
came.
What did it go over?
It skiffed the edge of Canada, went over Greenland,
Okay.
uh, and over the UK and into Paris that way. So it's coming through. So that's exactly the route that you're pointing
Yeah,
to there,
so
Dave.
so they're not allowed to go over the North
Russia
Pole.
or the
So
North
so
Pole.
won't that wouldn't be such a straight line. It would come around this way over
It did.
Greenland and then over to Paris.
Yeah, it did, but it was still. It wasn't a straight line, but it was still because of the Russia and the North Pole. But it was still the most efficient route on a flat Earth, and
But
it would never ever have went that. So if you look at that on a globe, that route, right, the way it went, it was basically going the opposite direction from what it should have been. It was adding 2,500 kilometres onto its journey. Now that's about an extra 3 hours flying time, Dave. There is no pilot that is doing that just for fun. Like, do you want to go the scenic route? There's no pilots that are doing that. People still cannot comprehend what I'm saying, though. It's like they're saying, "Oh, but there's a war on in Russia, right? It didn't touch Russia." They will come up with any excuse whatsoever saying, "Oh, but that is the shortest route on a globe." No, you can
think
spell
about
it out to them,
think
but
about
they will
this.
still defend this ball.
Think about this. So the Earth is spinning this way, right? The Earth spins this way. The Earth is spinning this way. So if you're going from Japan, what else? Japan over here, and we're going to fly this way. So the Earth is spinning. The plane is spinning with the Earth, but when it crosses over, now the Earth is spinning from its left wing to its right wing, and when it crosses over the top, now it's going from its right wing to its left wing. So the Earth has changed its directions, and the airplane's still flying.
Yeah,
Airplane, not air globe.
yeah, and all of these flights that's on flight radar, there's none of them going upside down underneath at Australia or whatever. Like they're all upright flights. Like if a plane was going to Australia, like it'd be tough to dip its nose so much and go underneath the ball. It's, common sense tells you that's not what's happening. Anybody who's been in an aeroplane knows that's not what's happening, or should know that's not what's happening.
This is my favorite airplane route: New Zealand to Argentina. And
Yep.
FlightAware says this is the shortest route, but in reality, it goes from New Zealand across the equator to San Francisco to Texas, and then down to Argentina.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And on a flat Earth, New Zealand, San Francisco, Texas, and Argentina are in a straight line.
Of course
And the
they
reason,
are.
yeah, and we're not going anywhere near the North Pole, so we don't have to deviate. Literally a
No,
perfectly straight line. Is that just a coincidence?
maybe.
Maybe you're a coincidence theorist.
So the other one as well is flights don't ever go from South Africa directly across to Argentina. The flights go via Brazil. Right now, if you look at that on a globe, why would you go all the way up to Brazil to come all the way back down to South Africa? You just wouldn't. But then when you see it on the flat Earth map, that's because it's in a perfectly straight line.
Yeah. There's so many examples of flight routes, emergency landings. Emergency landings are even better than flight routes because they have to
Yeah,
land and they land in
yeah.
impossible places in impossible amount of time. It,
And people should be like, why would that land there? But they don't question it, Dave.
yeah. When the World Cup happened, there was in Doha. They went for Rome either to visit the Pope or get more fuel. Allegedly, they said to get more fuel. And then they went back to Buenos Aires. But here it is. They got fuel in Rome because you can't get fuel in the middle of the ocean.
Yep.
That's if planes actually need fuel, but that's a whole other story.
Oh, I've done a video on that as well. It went a bit viral.
Are you
Like when
so
you look at planes
good?
that take
Good.
fuel in their wings.
Yeah, that's crazy. Are you just on TikTok or do you post your videos elsewhere on YouTube or?
So after speaking to you the other day, I am going to start posting on YouTube and X, Twitter.
Yeah,
Whereas,
X is easy. Once you have your video, just drop the file on X and bam, it uploads instantly. Put
yeah,
a little set, whatever you want to say, tag it,
aye.
and then send it, and it'll get some play there.
That's it. I'm really new to speaking about this publicly, but I enjoy it. I enjoy trying to get my point across. I enjoy speaking about it because I feel like people need to know this. People need, and sometimes when a lot of the flat earth people, they get their point across, but they are not on camera themselves. They're just doing like the little clips of the different bits. So it's not someone that's speaking. And I prefer personally to listen to somebody that's speaking rather than just watch little clips. But I think this has opened my eyes to how deep the brainwashing and the indoctrination actually goes after I've started speaking about it.
So Natalie, how about your friends? Do your friends think you're crazy, or are they waking up?
Quietly waking up. I don't think they'll admit it yet. So my brother, he's probably the biggest one for me. He's 2 years younger than me, and he's always been very academically clever. So never had much common sense, but science and maths and things like that. He just sailed through school, if you know what I mean. So my brother, he's like, I'm an engineer. I know how this works, and I know how this works. And I'm like, just listen to what I'm saying. Just try and get this through your head. What I'm trying to tell you, it's not possible. And I think he's slowly starting to wake up as well.
Yeah, it's good. It's hardest to wake up your family members. Sometimes it's easier when someone else wakes them up. Like my daughter, just didn't want to talk about it, didn't want to talk about it. But now her friends are like, hey, have you looked into flat Earth? And then they found out her dad's flat Earth Dave. And so now she's embracing it all of a sudden. But it was her friends that woke her up, not me. Which is
And
quite
that's it. A
interesting
couple
because
of
she
years
was,
ago, it was embarrassing that her dad was Flat Earth Dave, but now she's like, "Oh, my dad's Flat Earth Dave."
she was awake to everything else, like the New York September event and and other things. She totally sees that. And then flat Earth was a step too far, but now she gets it. So I see the world is waking up faster and faster right now. There's more and more people waking
I
up.
think so as
But
well.
I
think so too.
the reason I reached out to you is I saw your passion because there's so many of us that you look at Angels of Light on TikTok. He's out there every morning just smacking globies around in the nicest way, and he just holds their feet to the fire. And we all do this with passion. There's no other word for it. The passion. And the thing is, it's because deep down inside, we know how important this is. But what do you do when people say, Natalie, why are you doing this? What difference does the shape of the earth make? I still have to go to work on Monday. What's your answer to that?
You know what? That's worse than people who deny it, if you know what I mean. It's like, what does it matter? So my answer to that is, of course it matters. Like, the shape of the earth is not what they're hiding, Dave. What they're hiding is the power within us, with the power within the earth itself, and everything that comes with knowing that we live in an enclosed system. It's not actually the shape of the earth that matters. They are right. What does it matter? It's the fact that what comes with that, what comes with knowing that. Like, people have no idea how different life would be if we were allowed to embrace this.
Right. The way I look at it is, we're taught that, things like ESP are foo-foo nonsense, and that we're all connected. Oh, that's just new age and all of the stuff. The truth is we are incredible, powerful beings. Right? Our minds are all connected. Nothing happens by
100%.
coincidence. Like things just, things connect when you're in frequency, when you're in resonance with your life's mission. Things just magically happen. Like, how did that person end up right here at this very time? Like yesterday,
Yeah.
there's a in my town, there's the tallest church in town. You can see the steeple from everywhere. It's super high and it's rock, and like it's supposed to be built in the 1700s, and like without cranes, without like when people were starving, and so I went and I've been wanting to do it forever. Just yesterday, I droned it. I flew my drone around it and I was examining it up and down. And as I was landing the drone, I'm in the parking lot to play. There was really no one there. A guy, gets out of his car, an older guy, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, you a pastor?" Great conversation with him. He gave me a tour of the inside. He gave me a book about the church and everything. And basically, the church, the long story, sidestep, he says that's the third church that was on the site. The other two, there was two reiterations, whatever the word is. I lost the word. Two other versions of the church, and that's a lie. That's because people will look at this church and go, "There's no way they built this, in the 1700s. There's no possible way they could have done it." And so again, him showing up, showing me the inside, giving me the history, giving me the book. That doesn't happen by chance. The world is amazing. So here we are on a flat earth with an infinite realm of possibilities. Here we are in a globe. It literally cuts us off from everything. It cuts us off. Yeah. And that was a big thing for me, and I'll tell you something. There's people that are smart, but they're in denial. And that's where I was when I was first learning about flat earth. I said, well, what about boats over the horizon? Oh, that got taken away. What about the sun setting over the ocean? Oh, I understand that now. Oh, what about seasons? Oh my God, that proves flat earth. And then, so I take all my reasons are taken away. And so then I default, and this is what everyone does. You default to, well, why would they lie? What difference does it make? How do they keep a secret? And when you get somebody there, know that that's the last step before they break. Right. The question is, is their ego too big? Are they able to let go of their, belief system? And and once you're there, there's no coming back. Once you go flat, you never glow back.
100%. I mean, as I said before, we know. It's not that we believe. We know. It's not. I remember watching when I was still trying to research into, watching a video of Steve-O going, do you know him from Jackass?
Yeah.
Going up in a rocket and showing us the curve. Well, that was enough for me back then to say, oh, well, Steve-O says showed us the curve. So there must be a curve, because Steve-O said there is. So obviously there's a curve. And I put this down for months after watching that video. And then came back to it again, like after something else. You know what? I think that flat earth could be right again, and went back to it again. And then it's just one thing after another. And then once you make sense of it in your head, like as you say, like sunsets and sunrise, and why at the North Pole sometimes they're dark for, like, they never actually get the sun in the North Pole for months at a time, and the opposite happens in Antarctica. Like, once you get your head around all of that stuff, there is no doubt in your mind then.
The reason reason why we're doing our conference, TrutherCon in Dallas, is because that was the first time the word conspiracy theorist was used to demonize people that thought outside the box, really questioned the narrative, and that Warren Commission report was the first time that they used it against us.
TrutherCon is a mixed bag of presenters from a variety of YouTube channels, and so what we're doing is we're having people come and present their best case for whatever it is they believe is the most important thing to share, and then we're opening it up for open questioning from the audience to question anything that's presented. It's a conference to have all of these different individuals who are well researched in their particular area that they present as an important truth to be able to be questioned, and then we're going to have a panel at the end of be able to cross-examine different speakers.
Yeah, this is the Red Bull jump, and this is what turns a lot of people hear about flat Earth. They go, "What about the Red Bull jump?" And they go, "Look, you can see the Earth is a curve, right?" Cool. So we zoomed in on all of the topographical features here, and we realized this is all New Mexico, right? New Mexico is just a little state in the United States. So this is all New Mexico. That makes no sense. This is like all a little town, a one state, So
from way up there, like you should be looking at a quarter of the world.
Yeah. And so this is him getting in, and here's the horizon right here from the camera that's behind his chair. And this is him at 128,000 feet, and the horizon doesn't move, right? It doesn't drop.
That's it. They all say that they can see boats going over the horizon, and then you could send a weather balloon up to 120,000 feet, and there's still no curve. So how many 500-mile sections of perfectly flat horizon does it actually take to make a curve?
Right. At this height, the distance that the horizon should be with the Earth curve, the horizon should be over 300,000 feet below his eye level. But it's at his eye level. And here's the problem with this proof right here. Globers who are unable to think, they're indoctrinated, are unable to understand what that means, right? The fact that you can see the horizon at this exact spot at that height, it should be, and here's the other thing. You can't imagine how high 380,000 feet is. I don't think anyone's ever gone that high.
No,
you can't even imagine what that is. It's incredible. And,
they can't get their head around the fact that the horizon always rises to eye level.
Appears to rise to eye level. Appears to rise to eye level. It always appears to rise to eye level. And truth is, it's mostly higher than your eye level. This is the curve shot from the fisheye camera on the outside. This is the one that convinced everybody the Earth is a globe. But here's the same camera on the ground.
There you go.
There you go. Same camera on the ground. So
it's insane what they have us believe in.
Yeah, people, it's, when you have a bias towards something, the Earth is a globe, because that's what we've been told before we can talk. All of our school, one of the first worksheets I had in school was the movement of the sun and the moon and the Earth, and we had to know which one goes around which, right? That's indoctrination, because
100%.
At that age, your teacher is a god. Your teacher would never lie to you, and the teacher wasn't lying. Teacher was indoctrinated. That's how you become a teacher.
That kind of threw me as well. So I'm like, and I think this throws a lot of people. How can all of these people be in on this, and all like teachers, scientists, all of this? It's once you realise that these people are not actually in on it. They're teaching what they were taught, and this is a generational thing. It keeps going.
How do you become a teacher?
Exactly.
How do you memorize and regurgitate and you get an A? Listen, your parents want you to get A's. So what you do is you study the book, you memorize it, you write it on a test, you get an A, and your parents buy you a new car. Wow. Yep. What a great world.
So I've got a story about school as well. Like when I was like a really small kid, before I started what we call primary school, I think it's like your first school in America. When I was naturally clever, like everything I kind of took in my stride. Everything came naturally to me. There was nothing that I struggled to grasp. And then when they told me about the movement of the Earth and the sun, and I can remember this to this day, thinking, no chance, no way. But I always just thought, right, well, when I get to high school, it'll all click because I'm clever. So it'll all kind of click into place for me and I'll get it. And then getting to high school and going into physics and them saying I had this 9.8 meters per second squared to these calculations and everything, and me thinking to myself, but they work out exactly the same. You get the same answers without adding that. So why do we have to add that? And I kind of rebelled after that, you know.
And in school, they taught you, you know, you have the sun and then the earth goes around the sun like this. And the other planets do that. They don't teach you that the sun is flying at 500,000 miles per hour and everything's chasing it in a spiraling. And you questioned this simple model, right? If they told you this was going on, you would have probably started swearing. Like, this is bullshit. Okay. Here's something.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish.
No, I'm just saying it's like there's certain elements of what I was taught that sticks in my head to say to myself, like, of thinking to myself, that's crazy, but you just accept it. You just kind of say to yourself, right, well, it must be right because the teachers say so.
Yeah, well, that's it. Teachers are gods. They would never lie to you, and they don't lie to you. They're actually teaching and sending out positive energy because they believe in what they're teaching. The way you get a PhD is you memorize and regurgitate and agree to all of the nonsense that's in the books that the Rockefellers put out. You know, the school system was hijacked. You know, medicine was hijacked. Everything was hijacked.
Oh, I know all of that. It's like I know how. I mean, the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, and they created the banking industry. Everything that shapes our daily lives is what they created. And by the way, Dave, we're in the end game right now. See this digital ID and everything. This is the end game. Like we are actually in their final stages. Like, unless people kind of wake up now, I think that it's going to be too late.
I think a lot of people are waking up. I think that they're scrambling. I think that there's a lot of good forces working. My friend who has the channel Law of the Luminaries, I don't agree with everything she says, but she brings up some great points. We live in this this toroid, right? The Earth is in like a double toroid, and everything is related to the toroid. Everything, and once you understand this on a spiritual level, that there can't be just bad. There has to be good and bad. There's an equal amount. But if you're only focused on the bad, you can only see the bad. Right? There is good. There are good forces. There are things going on. And you have to look at this this is literally, for lack of a better word, a game, a simulation, right? They're not the right words, but we're in this amazing creation on purpose by choice. We're here on purpose by choice. Remember that, right? We didn't just come here and go, oh, shit, we got a bad one. We landed on a bad planet. You know, we're in this by choice. And we're here to, I look at it as expand the mind of God. We're all little cogs or, you know, neurons in this God brain. And we're here to expand it. We're here to share joy and love. And the evil ones want to extract that loose and negative energy from us. So if we don't give them that energy, right? There's all of these anti-flat earthers out there. They don't even exist in my world. They don't exist. I don't see them. I don't care about them. No. Right? And I you know, and people are like, you should sue this one. No, that's bad energy. They don't exist.
Because then you're letting them control your thoughts. Like that's letting that negative energy in 100%. As well. But when you talk about like the toroidal field, like it's electromagnetic, it is not gravitational. They have told us all forever that we live in a gravitational field. We live in an electromagnetic field. And I don't know how much you know about ley lines and like where all these ancient temples and things are actually built directly into the grid. But to harness this energy, they are aligned perfectly with sky events as well, like the eclipses. Like all these different sky events are actually aligned with these ancient temples and buildings and things.
Do you watch My Lunch Break? Are you familiar with My Lunch Break?
I have seen it a few times. Yeah,
you gotta watch this up. But his latest video, at the time of this recording, his last video talks about these temples that are all on the that are possibly on the ley lines. What I love about him is he doesn't make any solid claims. He just like, look at this evidence. Look, it appears that this is going on. And if anyone's not watching My Lunch Break, you're missing out. This is waking up more people to the reality of our world than probably any other channel out there. My Lunch Break, you can find them on every platform, from X to Twitter to X and Twitter, the same thing. YouTube, TikTok, My Lunch Break. That's all you got to remember. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, even in Scotland, so we've got so many places in Scotland that have what we call Munros, and it's like mountains, but they're made of limestone and quartzite, and these actual mountains, and there's so many stories behind them. But when you actually link them all into the grid, you can see exactly what it was back then. Like when you look at them with fresh eyes, like I'm looking at all these stones with like cut marks in them and things, and I'm like, people don't appreciate what these actually were.
When you wake up to the old world and the flat Earth, you can't walk outside, even in a city or in nature, without going, "Wow, look at that!" I mean, I grew up in these woods that are around me, and I played in the woods. And now when I walk through the woods, I'm like, look at that. What is that? Like these rocks, you can tell that they were trees. You can see all sorts of things that you couldn't see before. So again, there used to be times like, I have to go somewhere in a half hour. What am I going to do at the half hour? For a half hour, I'm going to stare at the TV or, watch Gilligan's Island or, or just wait, now there's no free time. You have no free time in your life. Zero. You have zero where there's
by design.
By design. Right. I asked, I said, I prayed one night. I said, oh God, I need more time to be able to research this stuff because I'm so fascinated. I don't have enough time. And literally I got insomnia. I literally started waking up at 3 a.m. every day after. I'm like, damn, you got to be careful what you ask for, right? But I had like 5 hours before I had to talk to anybody, 5 hours of uninterrupted research. I got exactly what I asked for. Exactly.
Don't wish too hard.
Yeah. So again, my thing is flat Earth matters because when you understand where you are and where you're not, more importantly, and what you're not, more importantly, you become in tune, in resonance with your 100%. with your life force. And when you're in resonance with your life force, you can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And nothing, once you understand that, you disregard all these negative comments and things. Like, I get so much hate on my videos, but I don't even look at it. Like, my mum will say, did you see that guy commented that? And did you see that guy I really don't give a shit, Mom.
You know what? The thing is, comments do affect the unawoken, right? The unawoken, right? The unwaked. I'm losing my words today. That's all right. But if somebody's new, sees your video, and then they start reading the comments, and they're like, "Oh, she's stupid," because and just putting in negative comments, that will steer somebody away. It really will steer someone away. I know that comments don't matter to me, but they will steer someone away. So I have if somebody writes, hey, I think the Earth is a globe because of this, I'll engage, I'll have a conversation, no problem. But if someone's like, oh, you're a retard, or blah 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 blah, or just an empty comment, usually from an empty channel, banned for life. I just ban people. I'd probably have 1 million TikTok followers if I didn't ban 950,000 of them. Okay. So
I've not got time for that either. Yeah. And they're taking your energy away as well. Like when you read these comments, even subconsciously, that does kind of took your energy.
Well, you get over time. The comments, I used to say they didn't bother me, but they did bother me, and I would react to them. But what happened? What I started doing is these negative comments, these arguments that they would put up. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea for a video. And I would use their comment to show, and I'd make a short video on my DITRH channel on how stupid that was. Some of my best videos come from the troll comments. Yeah. So you can invert anything. A negative thing coming at you is amazing because it shows you something positive. If you're on the side of truth, anything negative will literally point you in the direction of truth because you can see that it's negative.
Do you know Simon Dan?
I know what a jerk he is and what an idiot he is. Sure,
Oh my
he's
God,
probably done 300 videos about me, right?
oh well, so he's done so many about me already. Like I
Wow,
think,
congratulations! You get a lot of
yeah,
followers
I feel
from
like
that.
I made
Yeah.
it. I was
He's actually the dumbest of all. I mean, his stuff is just so edited, and he's never, ever, ever provided a proof other than going, just saying something like it's true and never proving it. Never, ever.
Yeah, and he gets personal as well. Like, do you know what? If you actually had a half decent argument, you would not have to personally attack someone because your argument would be strong enough without attacking them personally. So he stitches a bit of your video and then puts it out, but then he blocks you, so you can't see the video unless you're going through a different account.
So Natalie, here's something that people should notice: that if you watch a flat Earth video by yours or mine or whoever, and then you look at the comments, there's pro flat Earth and then there's negative flat Earth comments. You look at the pro flat Earth comments, go to the channel, and you'll see that these are all real people. On the negative comments, 99% of them are empty channels with no followers.
Oh, so I realized that lately.
Are they even real people, or are they just lazy trolls that just have these, throwaway channels? And what I do is I'll comment when someone will make a comment. Like if someone makes a comment on a video that I'm, like someone that interviews me and then they put it on their channel, and then there'll be a bot comment or, just an anti-flat Earth comment. All right. I'm like, hey, congratulations on your channel. You seem to have compiled all of the globe proofs. Can you tell me which one is your favorite? And then people will see that. They'll go to the channel and see that there's nothing there because those are all the globe proofs. That's my favorite comment. It's pretty funny.
That's good. I might use that.
Yeah. That's all I say. That's all I say.
20 minutes replying to bots. I know I have.
Once in a while. No, never reply to the empty channels. Just ban them occasionally. But if you can't ban them, that's the comment I leave. Like, hey, you compiled all the globe proofs. Must have taken you a long time. Can you tell me which is your favorite? But that's interesting that the anti-flat Earth size are empty bot troll channels, and the pro-flat Earth size are thinking actual people.
I know. Even like if you even just look at Brian Cox, for instance, right, the astrophysicist who's won all these awards. When you actually look at Brian Cox, like he was in a band, Dareem, who sang a song for a British political party. Things can only get better. So Brian Cox was in that band. How do you go from being like in a band to the world's greatest astrophysicist in the space of a couple of years? Like people need to learn that these people are actors. Like, people laugh at me when I say, oh, Brian Cox, the actor, Neil deGrasse Tyson, the actor. And they actually laugh because they're like, these guys are actual scientists. They're not actors. They are actors. Like, there's a place in England, Chatham House. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
Right. So Chatham House, they produced a manual for the new actors in space. Right, so this is an actual manual that you get, and it is for new actors in space. Like, why would you even need to produce a manual for actors in space? Like, for the security of the actors in space. Like, I don't understand why you would have to do that if they were not actors.
Brian Cox once said that he doesn't even believe that there's flat earthers, something like that, and he said that no culture in the past has ever thought the earth was flat.
This is my that you've on your screen. That's my favorite image to show every culture for
every culture except NASA, right?
NASA,
and if NASA's a culture, but he says it in his accent with such confidence that non-thinking people, conspiracy theorists, just people that are indoctrinated. They'll be like, oh, no one, this is crazy. And then they'll never look into it. But the truth is, every culture prior to the mid 1900s, right? Forget it. We're story 2,000 years ago, the Greeks figured it out. That's a bullshit story, right? You saw my interview with Ruth. Do you ever see my interview with Ruth? Ruth, the 102-year-old woman.
Oh, no. Yeah, I have seen that. The old woman.
Yeah, well, I interviewed Ruth, and she is 102, and back in the late 1920s,
I've seen that. Yeah, I've
yeah,
seen that.
she was taught the Earth is flat in public school here in Connecticut, in Connecticut, right in America.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the 1900s. They were
Mm-hmm.
teaching flat Earth, and then you know what happened? This was in 2020. I said, everybody, we don't have much time. We need to go to nursing homes and find people over 100 that have their wits and interview them. And then literally a couple days later, the COVIDs hit, and all nursing homes worldwide were shut down.
Yep. Girl, my dad's alarm was right in.
Is that a coincidence, or did they do that to stop me? Right?
I wonder. Just another coincidence of it. I mean, the Antarctic Treaty was formed, and then no exploration to Antarctica whatsoever. People don't question that either, Dave. Like, surely they've got to be hiding something there if we're not allowed to explore these places.
Have you seen my when I do the thing on Kiribati, the boats that went beyond Antarctica?
Yeah.
So this is live right now today, and I'm showing you. I'm zooming out. There's a boat right here where my mouse is, and I'm zooming out. And sorry, it's over here. There's the boat right there. There's a boat like 1,000 miles in. It's this fishing boat. What's it? How is it possibly there?
The penguins took it out.
The penguins? Is that the best you have? But that's live today. So they haven't even fixed this. The issue they have with there was a whole line of boats going out there, a whole line of boats. So
I discovered something. I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not. I've not done a video on it yet, but I am gonna. So
just real quick for anybody that doesn't know what that was. If you take this map here and take all of these outer continents and wrap it around like a basketball, so all of those are on the bottom, that's what they call Antarctica. So if a boat went out here, it would show up just like that one did in the middle of Antarctica.
Right, I got you.
Right? So maybe there's shipping routes out here. Maybe we're getting, technology or trading tuna fish or children. Who knows? All right, go ahead. Tell me what you're going to make a video on what?
So I'm going to tell you about this first, right? So when you go online and you get the map of Antarctica that has the bases clearly mapped, so it'll have like whatever base, and the country, a lot of them are related to the country that they belong to.
Yeah.
You take that map, you overlay it on an FE map, you mirror it and rotate it, and what do you know? These bases are actually in the actual countries.
They line up with the countries.
Yeah.
Right. If you look at it here are all the bases, and they line up. The Australian bases are over here. Right?
Oh, so you've already done that?
Yeah, it's right on the. Just type in Antarctica on the app and on the images section, and you can find all of these bases. And these are only some of the bases. Now, there's other bases, secret bases. We have military whistleblowers that worked in Antarctica. There's a base called Antarctigo, or Tigo for short, and it is a secret base. The guy said they were searched like 25 times for any cameras or recording devices, and it's a mining operation that's been going on for decades, where they're mining thousands of tons of precious metals, and in Antarctica. And I have a theory on what they're going to do with all that.
I mean, you see some of the telescopes and things that they've got there, like
yeah, there's
the mind boggles, Dave.
Was it Lockheed or
Aye,
maybe Lockheed? There was a guy from the Lockheed that said, if you can imagine a technology, we've already done it in Antarctica.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe a lot of what they're hiding as well are pyramids and things. And
all sorts of stuff. I mean, you've looked into the moon map, yes?
Yep.
Yeah, the moon map is I at first I was like, I don't know, man. But when you start looking into it and you compare it to the Prague clock, right? You know that they've changed the Prague clock.
Yeah. So I was absolutely fuming about it. But like, why would you deface something like that? It's
in Prague, if you want to change a friggin' lamppost, you got to go through like council meetings because it's very historical, but they changed the clock without any question. The oldest clock in the world. Amazing. Yeah. So yeah, there's the moon map, and there's so much to that. And then I found out, that back in time, I forget the dates, but maybe it's the early 1900s, maybe it's the 1800s. I forget. Where people did talk about the moon being a map of the world. This isn't a new thing.
I don't know. No, I know it's not. I mean, the moon is one of the most underrated things that people have dismissed for years as being just a dusty rock floating around in outer space. People don't realize the power of the moon.
Let me help you with that.
Power the moon has.
Let me help you with that. There's a thing called you know how to manifest. You think and you manifest things in your life. Well, there's a cycle that's tied to the moon. So right now we're a day after the new moon. So right now, well, the cycle of the moon waxing, it's going to be waxing for the next 2 weeks. So as the moon is waxing, getting bigger, you're supposed to focus on your true, from your heart, desires, things that you want in your life. Now, if you say, I want $1 million, you're literally sending out the energy. I don't have $1 million. I'll never have $1 million, because nobody wants $1 million. You want things in your life that you believe $1 million will bring. So you got to get that clear. And so for the next 2 weeks, every day, you should be focusing specifically on envisioning the things that you want in your life, right? Yep. And if you're thinking about garbage, you're going to get garbage, right? But you focus on those things for the next 2 weeks. And there's different ways to do that. You can write it down 3 times in the morning and 6 times at noon and 9 times in the evening. You can just say it out loud in your head. You can think it. You can do whatever you want. However, you just focus on those things for the next 2 weeks. Then when we have the full moon, you rejoice and you're grateful. And you're grateful that you already have it, even if you don't see it yet, because things, you have them before they physically manifest. So
you've got to be that person. So, you've not got to want to be that person. You've got to be that person.
So you give thanks and gratitude, and then for the next 2 weeks, as the moon is waning, you relax and you just enjoy, and then you redo the cycle. It is incredibly powerful.
100%.
And anybody that thinks that it's not powerful because you're never going to do it and you'll never know.
Even like small things like women's menstrual cycles are tied to moon cycles, right? Like no doctor will ever suggest to you, if people are trying for a baby and things, no doctor's ever going to say to you, tie your menstrual cycle to the moon cycle. Like, but to me, that is just such an obvious thing. Like, if we're in sync with
you know how
the universe, then things are going to happen that you want to happen.
We celebrate our birthday the day we come out of our mother's vagina, right? That's the day we celebrate. But what about the day you were created 9 months earlier? Which is more of a celebration? So I forget the way you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go 9 months before your birthday and then to the nearest full moon, whether it's the nearest full moon after that date. And then that's your creation date. It's something like that, right? So that's your day of creation. And that's the day you should be celebrating rather than your birth date. Your birth date there's so many things wrong with that, right? But you're alive from the day of conception. And so by celebrating your birthday, you're ignoring God's creation for 9 months, some of the most incredible time of development, and you're not honoring that.
You've got such a good point.
Yeah, in school they make kids, when it's their birthday, they march around. They have a sun, and then they take the birthday cake and they march around the sun. Another trip around the sun, another trip around the sun, and it's the opposite of the truth. That's what they do here in America. It's friggin' crazy. It's crazy. Natalie, we're at an hour. I want to keep this around an hour. Anything else you want to say? I know you have lots to say, but anything you want to wrap up with? Or
Stephen, people ask me that, I'm like, what did I say?
Well, my message is, I'm waking up lots of people. I can't put a number on it, but if you can wake up one person, you've done something amazing. You don't know, like the person that woke me up, my friend Sophia Smallstorm, she's the one that woke me up. and now look what she's done. She gets credit for everything I've done. So you know, I like what you're doing. Everybody, I'll put her channel down right there, and make sure you go on TikTok. Now, if you listen, I was anti TikTok. You know, YouTubers and TikTokers, they're like, you know, YouTube, TikTok, right? TikTok is carrying the weight of flat Earth right now. It is where all of the content is. There's very little new content. The globe trolls have taken over YouTube, and it's very difficult to find good information there. So if you're not a TikToker, I recommend just make an anonymous account. You don't have to post anything. Just start following Natalie. Start following you know, Angels of Light, and it'll help increase your knowledge and help wake up friends and family.
Yep, 100%.
All right, not a problem. Thanks for having this discussion.
You're very welcome anytime.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye. David Weiss here. I've been taking Masterpiece for probably over a year, maybe even 2 years, and the detox I feel from it is amazing. I have never felt better in my life. I know that sounds like a lot, but I sleep better. I have amazing dreams when I take it at night. I take it twice a day most of the time, but sometimes I only take it once a day because I forget. But it's definitely an amazing product, and now with the new research they've done where it is literally getting rid of the nanotech in your body, I can't imagine not having any. So there you go. That's my testimony, and I love the stuff, and I'm never going to stop taking it. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this interview, please help support my work and help wake up others by referring or gifting the app to at least one person today. By doing that, you're going to help wake people up and help me to continue doing other interviews like this. With the censorship out there that's going on, it's very difficult to find relevant information, and the app, as you know, brings people to the truthful information of our world. So help support my work, help support your efforts in waking up friends, family, and strangers. Gift them the app or just recommend the app. And let's make 2025 the year Flat Earth breaks free. Check the links below for information on how to gift the app or just refer the app to others, and use your referral code to earn Dome cryptocurrency and a free subscription. Thanks.